The year was 1974. Great Britain found itself gripped by a tale of aristocratic intrigue and brutal murder. Richard John Bingham, the 7th Earl of Lucan, vanished without a trace. He left behind a blood-soaked crime scene, a dead nanny, and a legacy shrouded in mystery. To this day, Lord Lucan's disappearance remains one of the most captivating unsolved cases in British history. Lord Lucan, once a dashing figure in London's elite circles, became synonymous with infamy. The events of November 7, 1974, transformed him from a nobleman to the prime suspect in a gruesome murder. The victim was Sandra Rivett, the family nanny, found brutally beaten to death in the basement of the Lucan family home. Adding to the intrigue, Lucan's wife, Lady Veronica Lucan, also suffered a violent attack that same night. She identified her estranged husband as her assailant, sending shockwaves through high society. The image of an aristocrat, a member of the esteemed House of Lords capable of such violence, was unthinkable to many. Lucan's disappearance only deepened the mystery. Did he flee, consumed by guilt, or was he, as he claimed, trying to protect his family name from scandal? The questions lingered. The public was left to grapple with the unsettling possibility that a man of such privilege could escape the clutches of justice. The police launched an extensive manhunt, scouring the country and beyond, but Lord Lucan was nowhere to be found. Rumors swirled that he had fled to various international locations, from South Africa to Australia, but none were ever confirmed. Over the years, numerous sightings were reported, each more sensational than the last, yet none provided concrete evidence of his whereabouts. In 1975, an inquest jury declared Lucan the murderer of Sandra Rivett, but without his presence, justice remained elusive. The case has inspired countless books, documentaries, and even films, each attempting to unravel the enigma of Lord Lucan. Decades later, the mystery endures, a haunting reminder of a night that forever changed the lives of those involved. The Lucan Mystery remains a poignant chapter in British history, a story of privilege, tragedy, and the relentless pursuit of truth. The air was thick with the first chill of autumn as darkness descended upon London on November 7, 1974. At 46 Lower Belgrave Street, the Lucan family home, a series of events unfolded that would forever stain the upscale townhouse with tragedy. Lady Lucan, separated from her husband and engaged in a bitter custody battle over their 3 children, was alone in her quarters. Downstairs, the family nanny, Sandra Rivett, had just finished putting the children to bed. What happened next would become the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation. Around 9:45 p.m., a frantic Lady Lucan stumbled into the nearby Plumber's Arms pub, her clothes bloodied and her demeanor frantic. She screamed that her children's nanny had been murdered and that she had been attacked. The police were summoned and the gruesome discovery was made in the basement. Sandra Rivett lay dead, bludgeoned beyond recognition. The murder weapon, a lead pipe wrapped in surgical tape, was found discarded at the scene. The savagery of the attack shocked even seasoned investigators. The focus immediately shifted to finding Lord Lucan, who had been noticeably absent since the time of the murder. The murder scene at 46 Lower Belgrave Street painted a grim picture. The quiet, upscale neighborhood was shaken to its core by the brutal events that unfolded within the walls of this seemingly ordinary house. The blood-stained lead pipe, found near Sandra Rivett's body, bore silent witness to the brutality of the attack. This piece of evidence was crucial, as it provided a tangible link to the violent act that had taken place. But the pipe wasn't the only piece of evidence that pointed towards Lord Lucan. The meticulous work of forensic investigators began to unravel a web of clues that painted a damning picture. Investigators found a glass tumbler, later confirmed to contain traces of both Lord and Lady Lucan's blood, in the basement. This discovery suggested a violent struggle had taken place, further implicating Lord Lucan in the crime. Upstairs in the hallway, a blood-stained piece of cloth was discovered, adding another layer of complexity to the case. The presence of this cloth indicated that the violence had not been confined to one area of the house. This cloth, too, would later be linked to Lord Lucan. Forensic analysis revealed that the blood on the cloth matched that of Lady Lucan, further tightening the noose around Lord Lucan as the prime suspect. Adding to the weight of circumstantial evidence, police discovered that Lord Lucan had borrowed a car, a Ford Corsair, the day before the murder. This detail raised suspicions about his intentions and movements leading up to the crime. This car was later found abandoned in the coastal town of New Haven, some 60 miles from London. The location of the car suggested a planned escape route, indicating that Lord Lucan had thought through his actions carefully. Inside the car, police found more damning evidence. Bloodstains matching Lady Lucan's blood type and a lead pipe similar to the murder weapon. These findings reinforced the theory that Lord Lucan had fled the scene in a panic, leaving behind incriminating evidence. The evidence, though circumstantial, formed a compelling narrative. Each piece of the puzzle seemed to fit together, creating a picture of a man driven to desperate measures. It appeared that Lord Lucan, driven by a potent cocktail of gambling debts, desperation, and animosity towards his estranged wife, had committed a horrific crime and then fled. His financial troubles and personal vendettas provided a strong motive for the murder. The hunt for the fugitive Lord Lucan was on. Police forces across the country were mobilized, and the media frenzy ensured that his face was known to the public. The search for Lord Lucan became one of the most infamous manhunts in British history, capturing the attention of the nation and the world. Section 4. A Nation Gripped. The media's portrayal of Lucan. News of the murder at Lower Belgrave Street spread like wildfire. The British press, sensing a story that combined aristocratic scandal with the gritty realism of a violent crime, went into overdrive. Lord Lucan, once a shadowy figure known only to the upper echelons of society, was thrust into the spotlight. The media frenzy surrounding the case was unprecedented. Newspapers ran daily updates on the investigation, speculating wildly about Lucan's whereabouts and motives. The public, captivated by the unfolding drama, devoured every detail. Photographs of a gaunt, aristocratic-looking Lucan were plastered across front pages. He was portrayed as a cold-blooded killer, his privileged upbringing juxtaposed against the brutality of his alleged crime. The media's portrayal of Lucan, though lacking concrete evidence, shaped public perception. He became the villain of the narrative, his guilt seemingly predetermined. The case tapped into a deep-seated fascination with the British class system. Here was a lord, a member of the supposedly untouchable elite, accused of a crime as base as any other. The Lucan case, fueled by relentless media attention, became a national obsession, a real-life whodunit that transcended social barriers. Section 5. Fleeing justice or meeting a grim end. The theories emerge. With no trace of Lord Lucan after the discovery of the abandoned Ford Corsair, speculation about his fate ran rampant. The mystery surrounding his disappearance captivated the public and the media alike, leading to a myriad of theories and conjectures. Had he managed to escape, using his wealth and connections to slip out of the country? Some believed that his aristocratic status and financial resources provided him with the means to orchestrate a flawless getaway. Or had he, as some theorized, taken his own life, unable to bear the weight of his alleged crime? The pressure and shame of the accusations might have driven him to a tragic end, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Theories ranged from the plausible to the outlandish. Each new piece of information, no matter how small, seemed to spawn a fresh wave of speculation. Some believed that Lucan had fled to mainland Europe, using a network of wealthy friends to remain hidden. These friends, loyal to the end, might have provided him with safe houses and resources to evade capture. Others speculated that he had assumed a new identity, starting a new life, far from the prying eyes of the British press. With the right connections, creating a new persona in a foreign land was not beyond the realm of possibility. A more sinister theory suggested that Lucan had met with foul play. Perhaps he had become a liability to those who once supported him, leading to a deadly betrayal. Had his powerful friends, eager to silence him and protect their own reputations, arranged for his demise? The idea that he was eliminated to prevent any damaging revelations added a dark twist to the narrative. The lack of a body fueled speculation that Lucan's disappearance was more than just a desperate attempt to evade justice. Without concrete evidence, the mystery only deepened, leaving room for endless theories. Adding to the intrigue, numerous reported sightings of Lucan emerged in the months and years following his disappearance. Each sighting, whether credible or not, kept the story alive in the public consciousness. From remote corners of Africa to bustling Australian cities, the ghost of Lord Lucan seemed to haunt every corner of the globe. The enduring mystery of his fate continues to fascinate and perplex, a puzzle that may never be fully solved. Section 6. Sightings and Speculation. The Lucan case goes global. The world, it seemed, had become both stage and audience to the mystery of Lord Lucan. Sightings of the fugitive Earl were reported from every corner of the globe, each more intriguing or outlandish than the last. The case, already a media sensation in Britain, took on an international dimension. In South Africa, a former Scotland Yard detective claimed to have tracked Lucan to a private game reserve. Witnesses described a reclusive bearded Englishman who bore a striking resemblance to the missing lord. The South African trail, however, eventually ran cold. Australia became another hotbed of Lucan speculation. A woman claimed to have served him in a remote outback pub, while others reported seeing him in the coastal cities of Perth and Melbourne. Lucan, it seemed, had become a phantom, his presence felt but never confirmed. These sightings, though often unreliable and ultimately unsubstantiated, added to the mystique surrounding the case. Lord Lucan, once a fixture of London's elite, had transformed into a global enigma, his face recognized on every continent.